Alright, how we doing, folks? It's Bull Marcus 18205. Numbers after the name. People sending over here sleeper picks for fantasy baseball, man. It's that time of the year, man. Games beaten is what we talked about over here. In this case, 50% Bulletproof. It's up there as one of the worst games I ever played by far in my life. It's just bad, man. I mean, there really isn't too much I've been trying to formulate some thoughts on this as to why it's bad. It's a third-person kind of, action shooter. I don't know. The sequel actually is pretty decent. Like, I played it with it was co-op online. It was on 360, PS4, PS3 as well. But whatever. You get my drift. It was pretty good. It was fun. It was mindless, but it was kind of Gears of War type action, whatever. It was entertaining. This, oh my god. So, number one issue, technical errors. Now, I don't know. This looks pretty clean, but you know how this saw. They sometimes might look clean, not be clean. By the way, that I think was the final boss I just killed right there. If not, it was like the second to final boss. That guy who I just ran right in front and popped through and naked his dome. That this looked clean, you never know with these early discs, until they really started making Blu-ray, started fixing it. You never know. It could be scratched and we just cannot see it. But what I found was anytime I tried to play any songs, you could purchase songs from Get Rich or Die Trying or The Massacre or whatever. Anytime you pick songs that have lyrics, the game crashes. It just wouldn't be able to handle it. You'd play like a couple seconds, somebody would shoot you, then you get stuck on someone, you have to like restart, whatever. That was issue number one. Because the only good part about this game was the soundtrack, and I couldn't even listen to it. You could get away with some instrumentals, like in this case, we have a Bitch Get in My Ride, but then sometimes you hear what happens now. We'll just stop playing. And you're like, are you switching to another track? You're not? I was like, alright, we're just with the environment. I was just happy the game kept playing. I was like, listen, man, I'm just happy the game's ready to keep playing. The storyline is kind of absurd. Oh, here's our final boss, pardon me. The storyline is kind of absurd. I can't even begin to explain it. The government goes into your hood, and then some guy ends up shooting 50. Run flip out 9 times. And then you just want to go kill him. And in between that, there's like 1,000 things. Eminem's here, who's McVicker or Mc whatever his name is, and he gets shot. But he betrays you too, whatever. Where the fuck am I gonna go, man? There you go. And I think Dr. Dre's involved at some point. I don't know. There's a bunch of nonsense. The stages. They aren't good either. The level design is bad. It was very dark. I actually had to go on my Elgato and boost up the brightness. Just like be like, can you just let me see where I'm going? Very dark, very muddled. You kind of can die. It's very strange. You could die pretty easily as long like if 2 or 3 guys kind of get and line of sight you and just pop you. You could die pretty easily. Or you could actually just run through the whole game and just not even get hit sometimes. It almost depends. Every life was like its own kind of like beast or whatever. You could take cover like I'm doing this guy. Oh, here's our final boss right there. Final boss of the game. Just walked right up to me. And to me, that summarized the game perfectly. That's how bad it is. I really don't have any more positives to say aside from the songs, but even then you couldn't really do anything when you played them, so that kind of sucked. You could also buy videos though for the songs, which is pretty funny. You get to watch them on your sidekick. So on this small little screen on your TV screen, you get to watch them. But at the time though, you gotta remember this is PS2. At the time, just watching music videos in general that wasn't, this was like pre-big internet and stuff. So I could kind of get it, that might have been cool at the time, and definitely the sidekick factor might have been cool and whatnot. But yeah, it's bad. I wouldn't have it played. Maybe pop it in and play the first level for shits and giggles. I got it also, I think, for $2. So for the price that I got, I at least got some laughs out of it. It is not good at all, man. I ended up giving it a 4 out of 10. It just mechanically, it's not good. The storyline sucks. There really isn't much positive to get out of this, and arguably I was trying to think. I was like, this might be the worst game I ever played. I have a Scooby-Doo game in N64 that's pretty bad too. That I always thought was kind of the worst game I ever owned. This just dethroned it. And I mean, that's probably the first and last time I'll ever think of 50 and Scooby doing the same thing over here. But yeah, let me know if you guys ever played this game, and I would love to know. It's difficult too for me to go back to these games and see. Maybe at the time it was something, I'm not sure. But this is pretty good though. He tells him this was good. Eminem kind of spent the whole game telling him that he wanted money for his kids or whatever. Then at the end, telling him he didn't have kids, and you're like, oh, okay, cute. 50 Cent, Bulletproof. Don't play it. Do yourself the favor. Marcos. Deuces.